Manipulation and mind control. Manipulation and mind control are commonly employed tactics by cults to maintain control over their members. Leaders utilize various techniques to influence and micromanage the thoughts and beliefs of their followers, ensuring compliance. Cults go to great lengths to restrict exposure to outside information, as questioning from members can escalate into leadership challenges. One strategy involves exposing members to confusing and contradictory information, creating psychological discomfort that pushes individuals to resolve inconsistencies by embracing the cult's version of reality as the sole truth. Another tactic, known as love bombing, inundates new recruits with affection, attention, and positive reinforcement, fostering a sense of belonging and gratitude that enhances susceptibility to manipulation. Cults often manipulate members by depriving them of sleep and imposing irregular schedules, along with demanding physically exhausting activities. This state of vulnerability makes individuals more compliant. For instance, NXIVM, a self-help cult led by Keith Raniere, controlled its members by coercing them to divulge personal information that could be used for blackmail, thereby preventing defection or exposure of the group. Charismatic leadership. Cults typically feature a magnetic leader who claims to possess unique insights or a divine connection. This leader must exude charisma to attract followers with their unconventional message. They must convey unwavering devotion to their cause and followers. Charismatic leaders often employ visionary rhetoric, promising followers a brighter future or personal transformation. They avoid concrete facts, preferring vague ideas and outlandish statements to create a grand narrative that calls for rejection of normalcy and discourages critical thinking. Criticism is taboo within cults, as it threatens a leader's authority. Leaders mitigate this by fostering an us versus them mentality, equating dissent with betrayal. While charisma itself is not inherently negative, in the context of a cult, these tactics can be manipulated for nefarious purposes. Exclusive belief system. Cults often uphold an exclusive and rigid set of beliefs that sets them apart from mainstream society. This exclusivity is crucial for the cult's survival, fostering a sense of uniqueness, superiority, and separation from those outside their circle. The belief system within a cult is often maintained through fear, discouraging any questioning or doubt, which is viewed as a sign of weakness or lack of faith. Consequently, cults actively discourage followers from maintaining connections with their families or accessing outside information that could challenge the group's teachings. An illustrative example of a cult with a hardcore and dangerous belief system is Heaven's Gate. Its members believe in the existence of extraterrestrial beings and subscribe to the idea that salvation can be attained by shedding their human bodies and ascending to a spacecraft following the Hale-Bopp comet in 1997. This belief led to the tragic mass suicide of 39 members. Another notable instance is the Branch Davidians who adhere to an apocalyptic theology. This belief ultimately culminated in a tragic confrontation with law enforcement in Wood, Texas in 1993, resulting in the loss of many lives within the group. Authoritarian structure. An authoritarian structure in a cult is characterized by the enforcement of strict obedience and centralized decision-making under the leadership. Within the structure, there exists a hierarchical system with layers of authority, including subordinate leaders or officials tasked with enforcing the leader's directives and maintaining order within the group. Cults typically impose rigid rules and regulations governing member behavior and interactions to ensure limited autonomy, crucial for the cult's sustainability. These rules, enforced by the leader or higher-ups, cover various aspects ranging from dress codes to dietary restrictions and personal relationships. Violations of these rules can result in punishments such as physical abuse, forced labor, public humiliation, financial exploitation, isolation, or outright excommunication. Conversely, obedient members often receive rewards ranging from a full sense of belonging or emotional support to material benefits like luxury items, money, or exclusive knowledge inaccessible to lower-tier members. Isolation from outsiders. You might be familiar with the term echo chamber, which refers to a community that only encounters information that reinforces its existing beliefs. Cults actively cultivate echo chambers because isolating members from external influences is an effective strategy for maintaining control and manipulating them easily. Often, cult leaders demand that members sever ties with friends and family. Some cults even establish isolated communities or compounds where members reside together, making it challenging for them to leave or seek assistance. This physical isolation serves the leaders in multiple ways and can deeply affect individuals psychologically. Typically, all forms of communication with outsiders are prohibited in cults, and anyone who breaches this rule is branded as dangerous or hostile, becoming a target for scrutiny. If communication is permitted, such as through phone calls, letters, or emails, it is usually closely monitored, and members may need special permission from group leaders to engage in it. Fear and intimidation. Fear and intimidation tactics within cults can take various forms, ranging from mild to extreme measures. Cult leaders may resort to physical threats to maintain control over their followers, which can be particularly effective when the group is isolated, leaving members feeling trapped with no alternative options. Another method employed by cult leaders is emotional manipulation, where they threaten to sever ties between members and their family and friends if they choose to leave the group. One notorious example of fear tactics used by cult is Shinrikyo, led by Shoko Asahara. This cult propagated beliefs about an impending apocalyptic catastrophe, convincing its followers that they were the chosen ones destined to survive. Members underwent intense indoctrination, psychological manipulation, and were threatened with punishment for disobedience. These tactics culminated in a deadly sarin gas attack on the Tokyo subway system in 1995. GroupThink. In a cult, groupthink occurs when members prioritize consensus and conformity over critical thinking and independent judgment. This psychological phenomenon arises from desire for harmony or conformity within a group, often resulting in irrational or dysfunctional decision-making. Cults cultivate an environment where members feel compelled to adhere to the group's norms and expectations, typically through peer pressure and the fear of social rejection or punishment. Additionally, cults create the illusion of unanimity, leading members to falsely believe that everyone agrees with the group's decisions and beliefs, thereby discouraging dissent. Members may begin to doubt their own concerns about the group's activities. In such environments, members rationalize or justify the group's decisions and actions even if they are irrational or harmful. Deception and secrecy. Cults frequently employ deceptive or misleading strategies when recruiting new members. They often portray themselves as benign self-help groups, spiritual communities, or charitable organizations, concealing their true beliefs or agenda until individuals are heavily invested and unable to easily extricate themselves. Cults present a sanitized and idealized version of their ideology to entice more followers, utilizing misinformation, selective disclosure of facts, and emotional manipulation to foster loyalty to the group and its leaders. Subsequently, cults exploit the trust and loyalty of members to perpetuate secrecy and maintain control. Unrealistic promises. Unrealistic promises within cults encompass extravagant or unattainable rewards and outcomes leaders exploit to lure and manipulate members. These promises often capitalize on individuals' desires for personal fulfillment, spiritual enlightenment, or societal change. Cults may pledge miraculous healing or transformation, asserting that adherence to their teachings will resolve physical ailments, mental health issues, or personal challenges. Other cults dangle promises of material prosperity, wealth, or success in exchange for financial contributions or loyalty to the group's doctrines. Some even peddle visions of world peace, social justice, or utopian society achievable solely through embracing the cult's beliefs. Exploitation of members. Exploitation within cults involves manipulating and misusing individuals to serve the leader and the group's agenda. This exploitation can manifest in various ways, including financial, emotional, psychological, and physical forms. Financial exploitation may include members giving a portion of their income to the cult, purchasing expensive items or services, or sacrificing personal belongings. Cults often lack transparency regarding fund usage, allowing money to flow unchecked as long as members refrain from questioning. Labor exploitation is another common tactic, with members frequently required to work long hours for minimal or no pay. Notorious examples like the Church of Scientology are known for exploiting members' labor through oppressive contracts and poor working conditions. Emotional exploitation in cults involves techniques such as love bombing and gaslighting, which manipulate individuals into doubting their own sanity and fostering emotional dependency on the group.